This is a river port project. Why, I'm not satisfied with the answer you've given. Why is it that you cannot transport this thing by water? Because we came through the road and the road is terribly bad. You still keep giving us the assurance that this project will be completed March next year. But from what is happening, it's not possible. Tell us exactly what the problem is. Because February next year appears not feasible. So can you be precise so that you don't tell?
Be precise more than what I said. What I said, I stand by it.
An input, sir.
So the problem was have you ever been here? Maybe then I'll start from there. Then you will notice. If you have been here when we started, like we tried to explain on the picture, somewhat was there. Then you will see the amount of work we have done, and then you look at the problem of this access. We are telling you, it's not as that simple. It's not easy, but we have surmounted it, and we believe we have done the technical part of it. When you have one item, even in the country, which costs so much, and you have been able to bring it on site, you have done so much the filling. As the work is concerned now, they are saying 80% of all their contractors. We are putting at 70%, but it's expected of us to be conservative, always on the low side. But we have full confidence that with their capability, we will be able to complete. And of course, with the help of the press pushing us, promoting us every day.
Maybe I should ask this final question. I will return with you. I want that assurance, because I'll come back with the team.
We have confidence that you.
And maybe if I can add, for me, it's not even a completed port, but a port that is usable or that is being used, so that we are moving goods from Wari to here. Functioning. A functioning port, that is what is needed. Not to complete and then we are waiting for the road or whatever.
The Honorable Minister, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, has also appointed a very special, powerful council committee on this particular job. And believe me, we have been working hand in hand with the officials of the water. Yes. And I want to also assure you, the Niger State government has also a committee on enlightenment and sensitization of the community people here. The community, very happy. Believe me, they are impressed with what is happening.
We'll be talking to them.
But again, it will also be interesting to know that all these challenges, as mentioned by both the contractor and the government organ here, let's take them in confidence. Because from what we are monitoring from the Niger State Executive Council, believe me, the work is progressing. We are comfortable, we are confident, and we are very optimistic that something is going to happen here by March, by the grace of God. Thank you.
Please, could we know the capacity of the port? What kind of ship?
Honorable Minister, sir. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The capacity of this port, when we were designing it, we measured it in the capacity of barges that can berth here. The length of the quay wall is 150 meters. And you know the maximum length of a barge with a tugboat, we estimated it at 22 meters. So you can see it can take about 5 barges at the same time, of loading and loading at the same time. And the minimum capacity of a barge is 1,000 tons. We have we have some 300 tons, 400 tons, 500 tons. But the bigger ones will have 1,000 tons capacity. And 3 or 4 of them can berth here of loading and loading. So that is...
Your name, please.
My name is Mike Dike.
What are you? What?
Good afternoon.
Tell us
yes.
your name.
I'm Sophia Guiga by name, sir.
Yes.
It's just that they are afraid of trying at first. Because for now, all we have is as free as possible for any barge of minimum of about 2 meters draft to move on this waterway. They may be running for the cost. Maybe the cost of moving things on water may be higher for them.
How could that be?
It should be cheaper.
How?
Sir, the bottom line is where, as mentioned earlier, that we are talking about this Ninon Transportation Company. I just want to mention their experience so far together with the experience we shared with them. They have been in Lokoja, they have been moving goods from Lokoja to Onitsha. Now, yes, about 5 times they moved in about 250,000 tons of goods recently. I think that's a picture of exactly. This is one of the one of their barge moving just by Onitsha Bridge. So even during the commissioning of the Onitsha port, they were there. Yeah. They will move in some goods.
It's a private sector.
Exactly, it's a private sector. So the same company now are constructing a barge, like I mentioned to you, Lokoja, which will be nearly 500,000 tons. So what they are targeting is the issue of the economy of scale. Now, we found out that from Lagos to Lokoja, it costs about 270,000 naira to move in 30 tons of goods. Now, what they are targeting to see if they can move it at 90,000.
Exactly.
That is the only way they say, well, if it works and it will work, then all the goods naturally, after all businessmen are there to profit. So that's what they are targeting now. And they have been talking to local businessmen who have goods to be moved from Lokoja to Onitsha. They have also come into Baro and the suburbs of Niger State talking to businessmen. That is the merchant moving in agricultural product to see if they can move the agricultural products from here. So they want to see if they can move it at 1/3 the cost by airport. So that is the whole essence. So like he said, people are afraid. Yes, there is that apprehension. Will you get the business and so on. At the same time, they are talking to big businessmen. I know for a fact that they've been talking to Dangote to see how they can move in his cement. And they are even assure him that they are going to take insurance for his cement. So that's why also I mentioned that this consultant Royal Hasconi, who are going to do a business case study for us for this movement, they are going to talk to all these big time stakeholders, Dangote, oil companies, and so on. Because in the South, really, they are using our channel. Last time we moved in with the National Assembly members, we met over 20 barges moving in crude oil through the barge from Indoni down to the sea to Wari and Wari to the open sea. So they're using it there. But the biggest problem is actually up north. But with this in Ninon and others, some others also have developed interest because they have seen Ninon have succeeded. They have developed interest. So soon, very soon, we'll start having this movement. The whole idea is to reduce the cost.
When the minister traveled to Niger, he was supposed to be here with us. He traveled with the president. Understand that there's an old railway network from Mina to this port. What is the Minister of Transport? Because the best, really, not even the access road. Yeah. If you have a railway network here, where you bring goods right here and then you can convey them by rail upland, that would be the way really to promote large haulage of goods to this port. Because the surrounding economy cannot absorb the things we carry here. So how to move things from here quickly upland is the issue. Are you considering the rehabilitation of the rail line to Baro?
I understand the Minister of the Railway Department and the Nigeria Railway Corporation already have a design for this, because the problem of the Baro Mina Road has to be completely done all over again. It's not like Arabs which are
we have seen that.
Yes, exactly. So it was going to cost a lot of money. So that's one option I understand there. They already have working on that one and talking to the government to see how they factor all this in from, I think, Kacha or somewhere there to Baro. We had a small rough estimate of how much it will cost, and we'll be talking since last year. I think they've been talking with the Minister of Works.
Sorry, MD, I get slightly worried because in the private sector, when you want to do a project, you start with a feasibility study that shows you the viability of the project. Then you do engineering and other designs, and then you do the project. Here you've gone it the other way around. You've done the project, you are now talking of Hasconi to do a feasibility study for you. I would have thought you should have done the feasibility study up front, before doing the project to establish the viability of your proposal.
Yes, I agree with you, but you have to understand this concept of dredging and all these ports was started right in 1954 or 1957. That was a report or a consultants commissioned by the then government of the Bangladesh, which this NADECO, the Netherlands engineering company, which proposed the dredging of River Niger and the construction of ports like Baro, Lokoja, Onitsha, and so on. In fact, including also even the dams we're having now. So that report which is suggested, and that report, it was not done as a vacuum. It was done because if you do this dredging and so on, it will increase the issue of movement of goods and economy in general. So there's this conception. So since then, all successive government have been trying to do this dredging and this ports. It's quite obvious. Some things are common knowledge, so to say, that obviously common knowledge that movement of goods in water is cheaper than that of road and that of railway and so on. That's why world trade itself also is in the sea. So the same thing along waterways. We have seen in the block countries that they are not only using the natural channel that we have, they are constructing artificial channels.